Hello and welcome. We are joined by Ambassador Atul Keshap. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. My very first question to you is, India walking the talk on its energy sector expansion. How do you see the boom in the investment in this area?
So I think you're exactly right that India is walking the talk on energy expansion. I have seen the progress with my own eyes just over the past few years. I remember an era when blackouts and brownouts were daily news in India, and now you don't hear about it anymore. So I really commend and congratulate the government for enormous progress on electricity availability. It's so important for India's rise to becoming a developed country. When I was a little boy, I used to spend a lot of time in Panipat in Haryana, and the power was out for 12 to 15 hours a day. That is not the case anymore. And I think for hundreds of millions of people across India, especially in the rural areas, there's been a real transformation of quality of life, and I commend the government. It's really important. Now, on this, I think our member companies at USIBC are absolutely poised and ready to help invest in India's energy transition. I went to India Energy Week in Goa. There were 30,000 people there. We had an array of best in world companies from USIBC who were there, including Indian and American companies. We had GE Vernova, which is a leader in the green revolution in energy, ExxonMobil, Chevron, Tellurian, BP, Shell, Boeing, Tata Power, Adani Group, KPMG. These companies are very invested. And when we had meetings with the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, my dear friend Shri Hardeep Singh Puriji, we expressed our commitment. And when we met with the Prime Minister's energy advisor, Honorable Tarun Kapoor, we expressed our great desire. So I think we are poised, and we appreciate and applaud the government's ambitious vision for India's energy transition.
My second question, India's commitment to clean energy and ethanol blending. Do you see India's leading the way globally in this area?
I do. India has a very ambitious plan for this. I think the biofuels area is absolutely ripe for opportunities. There's the Global Alliance on Biofuels. India, I think, can also break its record production on ethanol blending. Minister Puri has shown great leadership in this area. Going up 20% is India's target. American companies and Indian companies are really good at this. American companies are particularly best in world at ethanol. So I think there's a lot that we can do together to help meet that target.
Now, at a more domestic level, how do you see India ensuring affordable energy in every part of the country amid increasing demand?
So this is where I really love the Prime Minister's vision and that of Minister Puri, Minister Singh, and so many others who are working on power and electricity. I think that the PM's announcement about 10 million households with installed solar capacity is just a fantastic vision. India leads the world on solar transition. India has enough solar energy to be a superpower in solar production. Its companies are producing solar panels. Getting them down to the actual household level will reduce carbon emissions. It will, I think, improve air quality. It'll improve the life of people in rural areas of India. So I'm very bullish on this. I also love the fact that India is very ambitious on sustainable aviation fuel, and Boeing and other American companies are working very hard to implement that vision. India generates enormous amounts of cooking oil that can become sustainable aviation fuel, and India has good government policies to encourage that. I also think India has been really bullish on things like modular nuclear, on nuclear itself, which is undergoing a renaissance in India, and so many other things, wind turbine power, etc. So, I listened to the Prime Minister's speech at India Energy Week in Goa, and it was ambitious. It was sweeping. It incorporated all of those various technologies, and I feel like government policy is strong, and our member companies are really poised to help implement that.
My last question to you, sir. How do you see India progressing in the EV space?
Yeah, it's important. Obviously, it's key to reducing airborne particulate emissions and ensuring that Indian children and children everywhere have lived healthy lives and are brought up in a clean and friendly environment. And so the EV question is important. It goes hand in hand with electricity production because you need to have electricity to charge all of those EVs. I think that the Indian and American partnership between our two governments on looking at critical minerals that are used in electric battery production is very encouraging. I think there's a lot of potential for progress and collaboration between the U.S. and India. I think India is also doing a great job of looking at its own mineral deposits to see what it actually has across the vast land of India. And I think India is finding that it has quite a lot of the essential minerals that go into EV battery production. There's, forgive me, there's a lot of heightened attention on the whole infrastructure of not only the charging but the manufacturing of EVs. And the U.S. and India also have a good partnership on things like electric buses, which can also help with air quality. So on EVs, I see a very good bit of opportunity. But look, there are other things that are important as well, Shubhangi, and I would just focus as well on the critical role of natural gas as a transition energy to that future where more sustainable things are used. American natural gas companies are best in world, and a lot of our hydrocarbons do not go through the strategically challenging choke points like the Bab el-Mandeb and the Straits of Hormuz, and we're very reliable. So I think in every element of India's transition to a brighter future and a developed economy, American and Indian members of USIBC can be absolutely best in world partners. And it'll be for the betterment and happiness of the lives of every Indian, which is very important. It's good for India. It's good for America. It's good for all the free people in the world.
Thank you so much for joining to NDTV.
Sure. Thank you very much. Cheers.